What is up, guys? JJ Tubb back with another video, and today we are here with the full review of The Batman. Yes, guys, if you haven't checked out my last video, I went ahead and did an instant reactions of the movie as soon as we got out of the theater, my brother and I. And you can go ahead and check that out, link in the description below. We talk about the film a little bit, but we don't really get in depth with it. This is what this video is. We're gonna get in depth with it, talk about what I loved, what I didn't like, and my overall thoughts on it. It's gonna be a non-spoiler review. I won't be spoiling anything in this movie, so don't gotta worry about that. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. All right, so starting off, we actually went and seen the fan premiere. So we were one of the first people technically in the world to watch the Batman. We ended up going to the fan premiere, and they ended up giving us this Batman: The Long Halloween comic. I thought it was a really nice addition to the fan premiere. So super cool that we ended up getting one of those. Now, into the actual movie itself. I'm gonna go ahead, and if you see me looking down a lot, I'm just looking over my notes as well, just to make sure I don't miss anything. But starting off, the cast slash performances, guys, the cast is phenomenal in this movie. Starting out, Robert Pattinson as Batman, I have no complaints with him, really. He was just amazing throughout the entire film. You can see that he is a broken Batman, a broken Bruce Wayne who's still not over the loss of his parents. You can clearly see it. He's just so good in this movie. His Bat voice is very good, actually. Not the raspy Christian Bale voice, not just a normal, like, Bruce Wayne deep voice. No, it's a Batman voice, and I think it's very good. His performance throughout the movie was just amazing. He really does a lot for the character. Like I said, in terms of showing where Bruce Wayne is at the moment, I think the only problem I had with him in this movie was that Batman and Bruce Wayne weren't entirely separate, which kind of makes sense when you're still, grieving the loss of your parents. So I'm not going to really complain about that a lot, but it definitely was something that I noticed other people online, including myself, did have a bit of an issue with. But, like I said, the movie's great overall. I have no problems with that. It worked for me. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. My goodness, when I say she put on I don't even know, an immaculate performance in this movie, I mean that. I saw on other people's reviews that she was a standout actress in the film and that she did an amazing job. Obviously, I wanted to see for myself just to make sure. Yeah, she is so good in this film. It's the first time I'm seeing her in a movie before, as far as I know. But yeah, it definitely didn't disappoint. I definitely am gonna check out some of her other films that she's in. I know she came out with another one recently, so definitely gonna have to check that out. But she was just so good throughout the entire film, and she wasn't annoying. She wasn't over the top. She wasn't not a key figure in the film. She was just as important as Batman. Their chemistry was on point, and she just gives such a standout performance in the film that it's kind of hard to describe. But when you're in the theater and you're watching the way that she's performing and the way she's moving, she just does such an amazing job. And hats off to her. She did such a good job as Catwoman. Next up, Paul Dano as Riddler. He just does an amazing job as well. I won't spoil anything, but there is a scene in the film where he just pulls off such an amazing performance that it had me nervous in my seat. I was literally like, oh my goodness, what is this man about to do? Like, what? Like, he's just so good in the film, and I think a lot of people who haven't seen it yet are going to love him because he's just so good in this movie. Like I said, the Riddler's intentions in the movie are clear, his motivations, why he's doing what he's doing, and what he's doing as well, who he is, everything. He's just so good in this movie. and he's definitely another standout one for sure. Paul and Zoe were just phenomenal in this movie. Now to Colin Farrell's Penguin. He was very good in this movie as well. Obviously, he has all those prosthetics, so you can't really tell that that's actually Colin Farrell. He's just so good as Penguin. I think he's probably one of the most accurate. It's somebody is probably gonna have to tell me if there's any other Penguin interpretation that's that just nails it. I think he does it perfectly as Penguin. Like I said, prosthetics weren't distracting. You couldn't tell that it was him. You can tell that was like a different person. Like at times I was like, that person doesn't exist. Like there's nobody who looks like that in the real world, I don't think. And well, you're right, because the makeup department just did such a great job, and I think Penguin is just great in the film. Like I said, he's not a central focus in the movie, but he just does such a good job at progressing the story forward, because he does have a pretty important part in the movie. Just he's not the central focus, but yeah, he does a great job in the film as well. Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon. Now, he is very good in the film as well. He is definitely with Batman a lot throughout most of the movie, and their chemistry as well is very good. The way he's able to pull off Jim Gordon, there's not really a bad Jim Gordon, so he's up there with the best, which is pretty much almost all of them. So yeah, he just does such a great job as Jim Gordon. He's able to interact with Batman as, you know, I know we're friends here, but like I still don't know who you are. I'm not sure if I should entirely trust you, but I do. And the way he is able to act that out, to persuade the audience of that is very good. Sometimes he'll crack a joke here and there, and the audience was definitely laughing at every single joke he made. He did a great job as Jim Gordon, so no complaints there. So good. And then finally, Andy Serkis as Alfred. He was very good. It sounded bad when I said it like that, but he was very good. My thing was that he wasn't in the movie a lot. He had a few scenes, but when he is on screen, and I think this is the most important part, is that every single scene he has in the movie is very important to Batman and his progression. So he does a very good job at being Alfred. There's not a bad Alfred, just like how there's not a bad Jim Gordon. And he just does a great job at counseling Batman, in a sense, counseling Bruce Wayne, trying to give him life lessons, I guess you would say it, because Batman, he's still grieving over the loss of his parents. And I think sometimes in the movie, you know, Batman or Bruce Wayne, he forgets that, you know, Alfred also had to go through the same things as him. So you definitely see the tension, and you also see the importance of Alfred in the film. So just Andy Serkis just does such a good job as Alfred that you're just convinced that he's Alfred in this film. Moving on to plot now. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you guys the plot, of course, because it's a non-spoiler review, but the plot was very good. Like I said, you know why Riddler's doing what he's doing. You know what Batman's intentions are. You know what Catwoman's motivations are as well. You know what everybody's motivations are and why they do what they do, which is a hard task to do with multiple characters. Trust me, I'm working on stuff myself. It's a hard thing to do. But Matt Reeves just nails it. The plot, it didn't feel long, actually. Actually, no. It felt like a 3-hour film, but it didn't feel like it was super long, if that makes sense. So the pacing, I thought, was very good. But in the film, it definitely went by. There's scenes in the movie where things take their time. The music slowly builds up, and you can definitely just feel that. And in the movie, like I said, the plot, it doesn't feel like it's super long and drawn out, which I think somebody on their article said, which is completely false. I thought that they did a great job at, you know, sometimes drawing out a scene because it was important, and it didn't feel like it was drawn out. It felt like it was like the perfect timing for certain scenes. The runtime was fine. Like I said, I got no problems with that. So yeah, definitely a plus there. Um, yeah, Batman has a broken Batman as well. You can just see his emotions and what he's been going through, and his motivations. You can see the world of Gotham, the atmosphere of Gotham is there, and it is amazing. I'm telling you, that is Gotham City. It's not New York. It's not, and I think High Top Films said this, and actually he did. He said this in his Batman video. He said that Gotham feels like Gotham, and this was even before the movie came out. You could just see it, but it's pouring with rain. Most of the movie, I'd say like 95% of it is nighttime. You could probably argue even more. There's a couple of daytime scenes, but it's like cloudy. But it's just a gritty, it's a gothic Gotham, and you can just tell, like, he said in his, like I said, he said it in his video, like, it makes you feel like you need to take a shower. That's how Gotham feels like. There's just certain moments where you can see how Gotham is, and you're put into Gotham. And I think that's something that a lot of films don't really do. They don't really put you into the story, which the cinematography, which is definitely my favorite part about one of my favorite parts about the movie was the cinematography. You feel like you're in Gotham with the atmosphere and the cinematography and the sound design. You feel like you're there. Rain pours down most of the scenes as well, so you just feel like you're just drenched in while watching the movie. It's just so good in the way that the light bounces off of certain subjects, some characters. It just works, and I think that was the best thing about it. Like I said, the cinematography was just so good. Just the camera angles, the way they're showing, like, one moment you're outside looking in, next moment you're first person view. And I think that's just such a cool thing, because a lot of superhero films / comic book films, they don't really do that. I know most of the Marvel movies, why some people can't really watch them is because it just feels like you're just watching a movie rather than being in the movie. But this movie does such a great job at putting you in, and I think that's why a lot of people enjoy this film as well, why I enjoy this film. So definitely that there. Sound design, there's when the Batmobile shows up, you can definitely feel the rumble in your seat when it starts to rev its engines. Obviously no spoilers, it's in the trailer. But when it starts to rev its engines, you can feel the rumble, and my seat was shaking. I'm over here tapping my brother like, bro, look at that, look at that. And like, and with the cinematography as well, there were scenes where I had to tap my brother. I'm like, hey, look at that cinematography right there. And he's like, bro, it's insane. And yeah, it just works. Just so much about this film just works. And I also want to get into the score. Hopefully I don't butcher his name. Michael Giacchino. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I mess it up, I am so sorry. He's definitely my favorite composer right now in terms of film scores. Just, he's done so many movies, just bangers after bangers. He's done Up, Cars 2. He did all three of the Tom Holland Spider-Man films. He did I think all of the Planet of the Apes films. I'm not sure. I think he did 2 of them. He did Jurassic World. So he's got the resume to back up why he deserved to be in the composer in this film. And his score is just so good. The Batman theme song, I told my brother, like, I swear, I listened to this song once per day, and I'm pretty sure I did, all the way up until release day. And even today I was listening to it. It just hits hard. You can feel the emotion when the distinction between Batman and Bruce Wayne. And in the Batman theme song, you like I said, you can just tell. Yeah, it just hits so hard. It hits so different. And it just works. There's certain scenes where they were building up tension. I said it earlier, the slow buildup of the music, then finally you just get the bang I guess you would say. And it just works so well in the film. Finally, I want to talk about the directing, because Matt Reeves, my goodness, he's just made so many great films. And going into it, knowing that Matt Reeves was the director, I knew it was going to be a good one. Obviously, like I said, there was some speculation on whether or not it would be, that certain problems would arise, but they didn't. And you got Matt Reeves to thank for that, because you could just tell that that's his vision. The Batman is Matt Reeves' vision, and he just takes you on a journey, on a roller coaster ride, and it works so well. And yeah, Matt Reeves, you outdone yourself with this one. This is such a great film. And yeah, so I want to just say thank you guys for watching the Batman review. If I have to give it a rating, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 10 out of 10, 5-star out of 5-star, whichever is the maximum amount. The film works so well. It's so good. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Make sure you go like, subscribe, share, and comment, and follow me on the socials. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.